Dear students, let us begin with the third part of the lesson on China's presence in South Asia and its impact on India, in which we will discuss about India's concern over China's presence in South Asia. During the Cold War years, China's presence in South Asia was defined by its strong friendship with Pakistan and the contentious bilateral relationship with India over border disputes. China's economic presence in other South Asian countries increased significantly since the formulation of China's Belt Road Initiative Infrastructure Connectivity Plan. The BRI has taken away a large market share of India's exports in the region. Coupled with the Sino-Pakistan relationship and the Chinese investments in other countries such as Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, it is a great concern for India. China's penetration in the region is deeper than India's. For instance, in 2016, China overtook India to become the largest trade partner for Sri Lanka. Afghanistan, Nepal and Bhutan have a larger trade share with India than China. India's own inability to exert a predominating influence over South Asia owing to its persistent differences with Pakistan has rendered its legitimacy as a natural regional hegemon severely challenged. South Asian countries' weak institutional structures and poor human rights record often led to development agencies such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank withholding regulatory approvals for investment and infrastructure funds. In contrast, China's lending support with funds and projects comes with no strings attached and is comparatively easy to fetch. This makes China earn quick goodwill. Furthermore, China, being an outsider, does not carry past baggage and is seen as a neutral third party interested in securing win-win solutions. On the contrary, India is seen as a hegemonic and a big brother. Its inability to resolve differences with Pakistan makes it blameworthy for the declining state of the SAARC. Security implications have been the foremost concern for India regarding BRI. The CPEC flagship project of the BRI passes through India-claimed region of Gilgit-Baltistan, and it was India's reason for not getting on board the BRI. Another concern for Delhi is the encirclement of India in its own maritime neighborhood by China-administered ports in the Indian Ocean. The two important ports of the BRI in the Indian Ocean region are the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka and the Gwadar port in Pakistan. In Sri Lanka, two companies had been created related to the port of Hambantota under a 2017 agreement. The Chinese hold a majority in the first company, while in the second one, Sri Lanka holds the majority and is responsible for security controls. The current situation of Sri Lanka in the post-COVID-19 scenario is precarious. Its foreign exchange reserves have dwindled drastically and essential commodities like rice, sugar and petroleum have to be imported. Sri Lanka has sought loans from China to bail itself out of its economic crisis fueled by the pandemic. The consequent loss of remittances and a drop in revenue generating business such as tourism and construction sectors. India looks at this scenario with utmost apprehension, as it would only aggravate China's presence in its immediate South Asian neighborhood. Pakistan and China have always shared a strong strategic partnership owing to their rivalry towards India. China's responses have ranged from neutrality to support for Pakistan's claims over Kashmir. China's cordiality with Pakistan stems from the latest perennial hostility to India, which China uses to keep India's resources and attention divided and hinders its path to economic development. China is known to have assisted Pakistan in the building of its nuclear arsenal with money, material and also reportedly formula and designs of nuclear weapons. With the BRI, the relationship deepens as China gets directly connected to Pakistan via overland and maritime routes over a distance of 2,500 kilometers. This would make China's presence a considerable one in the Indian Ocean region. India fears that China's naval ship visits would become a regular feature, or Gwadar might develop in the long run to be an intelligence hub for the People's Liberation Army Navy. All these increase security implications for India in South Asia. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far in this lesson. The failure of the SAARC to act as a cohesive regional organization has pushed the states closer to China. After 2014, not a single meeting of the SAARC has been held due to India's alleging that Pakistan is sheltering and supporting terrorist activities in India. Pakistan, in the face of substantial evidence backing India's claims, has denied such charges. After the outbreak of COVID-19, India had convened a meeting of the SAARC countries at the latest level in March 2020. All countries together created a COVID emergency relief fund to jointly fight the coronavirus. This was the first meeting of its kind in many years to fight a common crisis together. India has also supplied COVID vaccines to South Asian countries as part of its vaccine diplomacy or vaccine maitri. However, when India had to curb its vaccine exports due to crisis at home, China assured vaccine supplies under both grants and procurement category at the fourth multilateral dialogue between countries in South Asia and China. The virtual dialogue involved the foreign ministers of China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, and marked a step up for China's engagement in the region. China has also inaugurated a poverty alleviation and cooperative development center in Southwest University, Chongqing in China, which has received the approval and participation of Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. Although multilateral cooperation during the pandemic is crucial, India views with caution the turning to China as an alternative by regional countries whenever India fails to provide firm support. The baggage of difficult ties or strained relations makes the regional countries play a balancing game between India and China whenever there is such an opportunity. China's strong leadership of the Communist Party is often seen as an effective alternative to India's democratic government in resolving issues in the region with a more stern and vigorous approach. The onus is on both India and the other regional countries to work out their differences in an amicable manner and empower SAARC as the legitimate organization representing the needs of the region. I hope you understood China's presence in South Asia and its impact on India. We have concluded our lesson. Thank you.